Hello, everyone, and welcome to Inside Human Mind. Before we get started, please make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Now, personal development is a lifelong journey, and let's be honest, looking up at that massive mountain of your life goals can feel incredibly overwhelming, right? But what if improving your overall well-being didn't actually require monumental, exhausting shifts? What if it just took a couple of minutes? Our explainer today breaks down some brilliant insights from the world of practical psychology, showing us exactly how the smallest baby steps can spark absolutely massive transformations. Okay, let's dive right into this. The ultimate antidote to that dreaded feeling of self-improvement overwhelm is something called the 2-minute rule. The logic here is beautifully simple, honestly. Any massive goal you have can be deconstructed into much smaller, bite-sized tasks. And surprisingly, some of these tasks literally take less than 2 minutes to accomplish. But hey, don't let their size fool you. These tiny 2-minute actions are exactly what get you moving toward those larger, seemingly impossible ambitions. We're going to look at a handful of these tasks today, all drawn directly from our source material. To make this super easy to digest, we've organized these principles into a quick roadmap for us. First, fueling your physical body. Second, expanding your mental horizons. Third, emotional release and connection. And fourth, celebrating your daily growth. Starting with Section 1, fueling your physical body, the foundations of daily energy. The very first principle is almost deceptively simple. Drink more water. I know, it sounds like the absolute smallest of baby steps, but as our source points out, we routinely neglect that classic recommendation to drink 8 glasses a day. The hidden symptoms of dehydration are literally everywhere. Random headaches, that crushing afternoon fatigue, and even skin problems. Your body desperately needs water just to maintain its basic functions. And the scary truth? A lot of people are walking around completely dehydrated and they just don't even know it. They're entirely sabotaging their own productivity. But there's a fascinating psychological trick you can use to fix this. Drinking 8 glasses isn't easy if you aren't actively thinking about it, right? So you leverage what psychologists call availability bias. By keeping a massive, full glass of water visible on your desk at all times, you make it so accessible that your brain constantly thinks, hey, there's a bunch of water there, we should probably drink some. You essentially trick yourself into staying hydrated, which makes a very real substantial difference in your daily energy levels. Moving to the second physical principle, eating whole foods. There's a really powerful contrast to consider here. On one side, we have things like fruits, vegetables, eggs, and nuts. The general rule of thumb is this: the fewer the ingredients, the more nourishing the food. If you can look at your plate and actually identify and pronounce what you're eating, you are on the right track. On the flip side, we have processed meals loaded with unpronounceable chemicals and dyes. If you ingest things you can't even identify, you are basically guaranteeing that you'll feel sluggish. Swapping out a processed snack for a simple, one-ingredient whole food takes less than 2 minutes, but the return on your energy, it's huge. All right, on to Section 2, expanding your mental horizons, curating what feeds your mind. Principle number 3 is to simply pick up a book. But how do we actually get ourselves to do this in the age of endless scrolling? First, take 2 minutes to text a friend for a book recommendation. Second, cue those books up on your tablet or physically place them right on your desk. Just like that water glass, we're using the availability bias again. The source notes that keeping something like 4 personality textbooks right on your desk creates a constant temptation to learn. And step 3, lower the bar for success. Tell yourself you just need to read enough to learn one single new vocabulary word. When the knowledge of the universe is waiting right next to you, you are so much more likely to consume it. But maybe you're more of an auditory learner, which brings us to our next principle, listening to a TED Talk or a recorded lecture. If you have 2 minutes to spare, just hop online and queue up a video from a great speaker. The subjects are practically endless, from psychology and happiness to urban planning and biology. There is a whole world's worth of inspiration out there waiting for you. In fact, many universities now record and upload their entire semester's worth of lectures for free. Opening your mind to a completely new concept really does take just a few clicks. That brings us to Section 3, emotional release and connection. The power of our internal and external bonds. Let's see how this builds, because our next 2-minute task is practicing daily gratitude. Positivity and gratitude are phenomenal tools to just melt away stress, especially when you feel like you've hit rock bottom. So how do you start? Keep a small journal right next to your bed. Right before you go to sleep, take 2 minutes to write down everything on a single page that you were grateful for that day. As the nights pass, you get to actually watch that notebook fill up with positivity. And look, this isn't just fluffy, feel-good advice. It's anchored in hard neuroscience. A grateful mind interacts with what's called the reticular activating system in your brain. This network is heavily tied to the concept of the law of attraction. Research continually proves that people who are primed with gratitude are actually scientifically more likely to reach their goals and become successful. It gives you a clear mind that is literally wired to move forward. Closely connected to this emotional release is the next vital principle: forgiving someone. We have all been victims of wrongdoing at some point. And hey, we've all made mistakes ourselves. But when you let go of a grudge, you also let go of the stress and anxiety that you've been clinging to. Forgiveness is a small internal gesture, and it doesn't just benefit the person who wronged you, it frees you. Holding on to past wrongdoings creates severe negative consequences for your own mindset. Letting go takes only a moment of internal decision, but man, it clears out massive amounts of psychological baggage. But we don't just need internal release, we need external connection too. Accomplishing your dreams entirely alone is incredibly difficult. So the next principle is to join a supportive group. You need words of encouragement, you need shared resources. Our source highlights platforms like Meetup and Facebook as perfect tools for this. Whether you want to connect with fellow writers in Philadelphia or real estate investors down in Austin, taking 2 minutes to search for groups based on your exact interests can surround you with like-minded individuals and experts who can seriously boost your motivation. And finally, Section 4. Celebrating your daily growth, the loop of positive reinforcement. So the crucial point here is you have to take time to actually congratulate yourself. Positive reinforcement encourages you to keep growing, even when it comes from within. If you achieve your goal of drinking 8 glasses of water today, reward yourself. Reflect on the ways you've improved your well-being, no matter how incredibly tiny those ways might seem. Consistently recognizing your own growth creates this powerful loop of positive reinforcement that makes you want to wake up and do it all over again tomorrow. And that leaves us with one final question for you. Which 2-minute task will you start today? Are you going to fill up a glass of water for your desk? Are you going to text a friend for a book recommendation? Or maybe you'll put a notebook by your bed for gratitude. You have the power to spark lasting change right now in less time than it took to listen to this. If you enjoyed this explainer, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends.